afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is yet another eventful day on the DESNU campus. I'm your host Srabasti, live on DESNU Reel. Today we have with us a very special guest, an erudite and a very noted scholar, Dr. Sheila Cavanagh. Dr. Sheila Cavanagh needs no special introduction, yet we'll still do a formality of introduction for her. Dr. Sheila Cavanagh is a noted author of two very important books, Cherished Torment and Wanton Eyes and Chaste Desires. She is also the author of numerous articles on Renaissance literature and pedagogy. She is the editor of the Spenser Review, and she is also the director of the Emory Women's Resource Project. Dr. Cavanagh.
Hello.
And a very warm welcome to DESNU Reel.
Thank you very much.
And it's a pleasure and it's a real privilege to have you with us here.
Thank you very much.
So, you're so associated with the Global Shakespeare Project. Could you tell the DESNU students a little bit about it?
The World Shakespeare Project was established in order to bring together students and faculty and arts practitioners from around the world, and we work with students and faculty on all continents, only a tiny bit in Antarctica, but on other continents we have students in numerous countries, and we do performance exercises and conversations and it's within the syllabus, but what we tend to do is we work on modules with different groups of students, since the overall syllabus varies from country to country. But for example, we had a meeting recently with a university in Kuwait, and there was an Arabic version of Shakespeare's Richard III. So the students there watched the production, the students in America watched the production, and then we had 3 video conversations about the production and about the culture in Kuwait that led to this production.
That is extremely interesting, ma'am. And since we were talking about the syllabus, and in India, the syllabus for literature has a lot of emphasis on Shakespeare. So could you tell us something about the US syllabus as well? How important is Shakespeare in the US syllabus?
Shakespeare is usually something, students who are studying English literature typically take Shakespeare, but in the United States, because students study a range of topics as part of their university career, the students who are in my Shakespeare class typically are studying a range of things. They might be physicists or biologists, political scientists, French majors, creative writers. You get the whole gamut, and that's one of the things that the World Shakespeare Project helps support, is that students are able to bring all of these different topics to bear on Shakespeare.
So it's a whole range of activities that center around Shakespeare.
Exactly.
It's a whole range of activities.
Yeah. And there are things like, for example, one of my students a couple of years ago was a math and astronomy major. And in Midsummer Night's Dream, the fairy character Puck says he's going to fly around the world in 40 minutes. And this student did the math calculations to determine whether Puck could actually fly around the world in 40 minutes without hitting escape velocitude and being sent out into the outer atmosphere. And the answer was no, he couldn't.
That's an extremely insightful description that you have given us, ma'am. So the question that was coming to me right then is, do you think Shakespeare is something that should be more study-oriented, confined to the syllabus, or should he be performed and watched more often?
Oh, performed and watched, definitely. I think that the syllabus is important, but I teach the class and call it Shakespeare in Text and Performance. I think performance brings things to life in a way that just reading it doesn't. So I always try to arrange my syllabus around us watching productions. And we actually, one of the classes in the autumn, we were studying Hamlet and we watched Hyder. So we try to bring in different countries' productions as well.
That's an extremely, and that would bring me to my next question. In fact, you were talking about how Hyder was showcased. So ma'am, what do you think about the Shakespeare fan base, let's say in India, in Kolkata? What do you think of that? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I've spent a fair bit of time in Calcutta and done a lot of work with the Shakespeare Society of Eastern India, which does fabulous work. And I think it's really exciting and lively and lots of good things going on. So I'm always very happy to be here. And I think the Shakespeare world in Calcutta is very exciting to work with. And
ma'am, there's something that I as a student would definitely like to ask you. It is, you've been a teacher, a professor for so long. What is the funniest experience that you have had when you were teaching Shakespeare?
Oh, that's a difficult question. Although, and I don't know if this is the funniest, but one of the memorable ones, because it was so early in the semester. Usually once students have had an opportunity to get to know each other, they'll do a range of things. But I did have very early on a pair of students, a male and a female student, and the female student came in and gave a speech as Lady Macbeth, and then she walked out of the room, and a moment later the male student walked in wearing the same dress that she had worn and gave the same speech, so that we could talk about, since in Shakespeare's time it was all male performers, we talked about the differences between male and female performers. So it was fascinating.
That must have been extremely memorable for you.
It was very memorable, yeah.
And anything else that comes to mind that?
Well, one of the things, again, in my classes, we do a lot of the international work because of the World Shakespeare Project, but they also do a lot of creative work. And so students will write poems or compose songs or do artwork or do a whole lot of different things in order to dig deeper into Shakespeare. And so they really get a liberal arts experience focused on Shakespeare.
That, for you, ladies and gentlemen, was Dr. Sheila Cavanagh, and she is really so amazing to talk to. And I would like to end on this note. And I would really like you to stay tuned to SNU Reel for more exciting events on the campus. Thank you.
Thank you very much.